So little time.
So much content.
Game of Thrones.
I know, right? It's starting a couple weeks, right? Not next week, but
Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Sunday. Yep.
We should do a Game of Thrones podcast. Get some TV in here.
Who's surviving? Who do you think is gonna survive?
Ned Stark.
It's been so long, man. I remember who's alive still.
Man, you aren't even rewatching?
No.
I'm rewatching with my girlfriend and my roommates, and like it's just like, it's so much fun. I love it.
I know. Honestly, all of like the hype has made me kind of be like, maybe I should just marathon the whole series and
Just
watch it.
Just power through.
I probably will at some point, like with Brian. I think he would get into it.
I mean,
What's the
you
other
could
stuff you guys watch?
cartoons, lots of cartoons.
Like what?
Adventure Time, Steven Universe.
No, Steven.
You know Steven Universe?
Yeah,
Steven's
recently,
Museum.
my girlfriend.
It's amazing, isn't it?
She really likes that, and she introduced me to that.
It's
pretty amazing.
It like I'm not gonna lie, it makes me cry.
Yep, it makes her cry too.
It's.
Yeah.
I don't cry easy either, and I'll just like watch an
don't.
episode and just be in tears.
Yeah, she likes like the soundtrack too.
Oh yeah, the music is fantastic. Rebecca Sugar is.
Yeah, yeah.
So a
What
few
am I
of the.
What's up?
Where are my knobs?
Okay, yeah, I'll get to that. Let me...
If we start talking about Steven Universe, we're gonna get too far ahead of the podcast, though.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah, Beach City Bugle is the Steven Universe fan page that we gotta submit to.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh hello.
There we go.
Hi. Welcome to Trash City.
I should have had you do the voiceover.
Trash.
It's a little rough around the edges, but that's okay.
Will you do that at a show sometime?
Yeah. I gotta remember. I don't know all the lyrics
You
to
just
it.
got
but-
it.
Yes. You two. You got the double. You gotta hydrate and dehydrate at the same time.
Get them all going.
Yeah, I can't have those water bottles, otherwise I'll flip them. Get distracted. You know
Just like a-
what the 8th graders
Oh
do.
yeah.
That's a problem.
It's
It's cool.
Doesn't bother me as much as it bothers Brie. though.
Bree absolutely hates it.
Oh man.
All right. So before we get started, debut album, obviously, Welcome to Trash City. Full length, 11 tracks. Mary, Hayden, and Brian. What's your relation to him?
Brian's my husband.
It's your husband.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know brother or husband. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
didn't know if I should know that or not. I thought I should ask.
Yeah.
And that's cool to bring up, obviously, right? It's not like
Oh,
a fact you're trying to hide.
I don't like
For any
to talk
reason.
about it. I like people to think that I'm single, but just not interested in them.
I'll keep him coming back to us. Perfect answer. Perfect answer. Vocals and electric ukulele.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
interesting. And then Brian plays drums.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Barry sax.
Mm-hmm.
You guys started Trash Cat maybe a year ago? Is that about right?
Yeah, well,
Kind
our first gig as a full band was the Battle of the Bands
Yeah, that's right.
last year, which was like a year ago.
Yeah.
So
Literally a year ago.
I think we've been like kind of writing and doing stuff since before that, but yeah, about a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
About a year. At Battle of the Bands was your first show. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, as like a trio.
Yeah.
We had played some stuff as a duo,
But then we added Brian on, and it was great.
and it was good. And yeah, we were like, oh, we should not play just two of us anymore.
So, whoa, my God. Holy moly.
Hi.
Suddenly cold.
My bad.
Hi.
I was trying to
Holy cow.
clean up the
So, yeah, watch
echoes.
the green and yellow. If it
Do-
touches on the yellow, that's fine. But if it gets in the red, that's bad.
That's clipping.
Do I need to
That's
like?
called clipping.
You need to get up on there.
Get up like a fist. Get in there like a fist away.
Okay.
Or like a can away.
But my back hurts.
Otherwise, you'll just hear the room. It's so much different from this far away than it is.
Yeah.
Haven't you used a microphone before? Come on. No, I'm just kidding.
Sass.
Sassify.
That's what we do here on the rooftop.
Fucking dicks.
God. That's That's what we should have
Sorry,
started. Right there.
don't put that.
We should start
My
that.
my mom will definitely watch at least part of this. And she'd
Okay.
be so
I'm gonna
upset.
have
Okay.
this then. Don't tell mom.
Don't tell
I mean, I got a few questions. I don't know where to start. Obviously, you guys, I don't know if you met there, but through the Burrows,
Yeah.
We did meet through the
Oh, yeah,
Burrows.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
and that's all cool to talk about. Everything's
Yep.
cool there. You guys are
Yeah.
still with the Burrows. And good with the
Yeah.
Burrows? Okay.
Everything's hunky dory.
Everything's hunky dory.
and
Trash
nothing is off limits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's.
okay.
This is a true tell-all of all our sauciest secrets, of which there are few.
All right. I need to turn my headphones down. This is gonna drive me nuts.
Oh, no.
Just a lot of secrets of me crying and being the dumbest person in the band.
Okay. So a pirate walked into a bar
Okay,
Mhm.
Chris. So
with a
This is the
steering
volume.
wheel
Okay.
this is the game.
on his
So
crotch.
Okay.
All the microphones.
And
Yep. So this is Hayden, Mary, me.
Mhm.
and the
These should all
bartender
just remain
says,
off.
"What's the
This is
deal with
game,
that?"
so
And he
this is
goes,
like the power input, so
"Arr,
it'll
it's
still make it
driving
louder,
me
but
nuts."
it's gonna be a lot less sensitive. to the volume.
This is gonna be a good podcast.
Quiet or not getting picked up. Turn off the game, but
I
you
feel
can
like
still
we're on
balance
Joe
it
Rogan
out.
right now. Not gonna lie.
I am only thinking about how this is good preparation for all of our NPR interviews.
For me, but
For you, it will
This
just
is
gonna be you.
open air.
Yeah. How do we
So,
how do we get the
we'll
right
get So
way
at
to
some point,
talk?
just, maybe take them out.
I need to get closer. Hold on.
We'll just make sure that we don't have
How do we talk
any weird buzzing or like.
to people in the real world?
you let me know.
I'm working on my NPR voice. Sorry.
Perfect.
So you just like barely making a sound, but you're as close to the microphone as possible.
Yeah. Hi. Welcome.
I really
Welcome to NPR.
want to hear the breath. Sorry, we'll get it all out,
Microphones are fun.
They are fun.
and we are dumb. So.
What?
No.
At least we're a little bit
Everybody
trash.
let me know if you can't hear yourself.
Cool, cool.
I'm good.
All
Yeah.
right. And so yeah, our headphone controls are under here. This first, it starts over here. That's nobody, and then Hayden, Mary, me.
But everybody's cool now.
Yeah, I think
It's actually a
Yeah,
good
mine
mix.
is.
Yeah?
Mine is great.
Welcome to the Rooftop Studios,
Mm.
NPR's newest podcast.
Jazz
nice.
on jazz.
Nice to meet you guys.
Joined by Trash Cat today. Tell me, how'd you come up with the name Trash Cat?
Well,
You know, Cole, I'm so glad you asked. It really has to do with some of the racial tensions going on in Syria
Oh.
right now.
can we just do an ASMR
Yeah.
episode?
Dude, every one of my podcasts so far has not boiled down to, but has some aim at ASMR. It's just happened,
yeah.
and everyone just like goes on a tangent.
Wait, what is that?
Oh, you don't know.
What is that? Stop, gross.
Auditory, sensory,
Chris is into it.
something. It's like you get a mic and you turn it up really high, and then you do little things like
Eat.
Oh.
eat.
Yeah.
Or-
There's people on
Or even
YouTube
like the
that
sound
have,
of like
2 million followers making like $1 million a month.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
the bubbles.
Good for
like
them.
breathing on the mic.
I wish I was smart enough to come up with an
Yeah.
idea. This is like my closest attempt to a really stupid idea I had that might make a bunch of money. Like, you know what I mean?
Trash
like,
Cat?
yeah.
Let's talk about that. All right. Let's get this party started. All right, Chris. So here's what I'm going to have you
Try saying trash cat scratch tracks.
Trash cat. Scratch tracks.
Scratch tracks.
Trash cat scratch tracks.
Yeah. It's hard.
All right, Chris. Oh, you hit it. Oh, we're already live.
Oh, word.
Way to go. We got Papa Chris in studio producing for the rooftop sessions today. Thanks for hooking it up, man.
You're welcome.
You didn't have to be here, but I guess beer is a big enough enticer.
Alcohol is good.
Alcohol is good. I agree. I think we can mostly all agree on that.
Yeah.
But, well, thanks for being here, guys. Trash Cat.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having us.
Yeah, this is awesome. You guys just put out a new album a few weeks ago, actually. So
Yes.
I want to get you guys in here and talk
Yeah.
a bit about that. But again, Mary Claxton and Hayden Farr, they are musicians from the Greeley ilk. I guess is that a bad word to say? The Greeley ilk of musicians. I think at this point they're best well known for their contributions to the super famous band and super fresh and super fantastic band, the Burrows. It's probably how most people
Yeah.
know you guys. At
That's
this point.
mostly how we know ourselves too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean like you yourself personally, or like each other?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, I do want to start there because that, and then we'll work into the Trash Cat thing. I mean, this is a new project that you guys have come up with.
Yeah.
I think it's super awesome. I mean, I've been listening to the album all week, and it's really great. It's
Thanks.
very entertaining, very like upbeat, I guess, and just it's very fun to listen to. So,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we'll get into that. But so where does this all start with you guys? Let's even go back maybe before the Burrows for each of you. How did you guys get into music?
Oh God, that's a weird question.
Is it?
Well, it's just like
It's
like I
Shady,
started doing
Hayden.
I started doing music when I was like in elementary school, like, and I didn't start playing in bands until I was like in college. But I did like the school bands and whatnot.
All right. Did you always play saxophone?
Yes, I played cello when I was in elementary school,
Don't
but
forget the cello.
yeah,
Cello, you got a bass.
yeah. And then I got caught not being able to read music, and so I was like, saxophone will allow me to not do that.
That story is so funny.
Why is
Yeah.
that? Why?
Yeah,
what?
but, like,
Yeah, I
so
know. It
weird.
was
The fact that your band director is like, oh, this kid's been faking reading music. Saxophone.
no. I quit the cello because
Okay.
because that teacher found out. So then I just
And then you faked it
Okay.
with a different
yeah
teacher.
until he
Okay,
was like,
great.
yo, you need
Yeah.
to learn how to read music.
Okay, I guess. Saxophone's cool enough.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Did you start out with the Barry sax? I mean, that's
I started out on alto for about a week. My mom bought
Oh.
me an alto saxophone,
Nice.
and then my teacher's like, "Hey, you like saxophone? You should try Barry." And I've been playing ever since 6th grade.
really.
Yeah.
That's. I feel like it's an early age to start for a Barry.
For the
Yeah.
big boy.
For the big boy, yeah.
saxophone.
Yeah.
I say that. I mean, I played saxophone all throughout middle school and high school,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and then was in the marching band, and then my senior year went on to the drum line.
Yeah.
but,
moving, moving up.
Moving
Nice.
on up. But yeah, saxophone has a very near and dear place to my heart.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
times, man.
It's a fun instrument.
It is, and it's cool. It's always like the coolest one in the band,
Yeah.
other than drums.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Important caveat. But I mean, we're like fighting over scraps for who's the coolest in the marching band.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's what we're left with. At least we weren't like flutes or like.
Oh my
anything
God.
like that kind of.
Yeah.
It's my best flute. So how about you, Mary? Where did you get into this whole music scene?
I started playing music when I was pretty little. I have 2 older brothers. They're 6 years older than I am, and they were both into music, both as like avid fans. And then, like one of my brothers, I remember was taking piano lessons, and I was like, oh, I want to take piano lessons, and so I started piano lessons when I was like 5. But my teacher like wouldn't. It was kind of one of those things where it was like, well, you can touch the piano when you have memorized all the notes. I think she really was like, yeah, exactly. It was
Smacking
like
the
a
knuckles.
5-year-old piano whiplash. No, it was not. She was nice. She did not. My piano teacher did not beat me. But I
What was her name?
eventually, yeah, right. Yeah, she did not. But then I eventually got this other piano teacher who was like super fun and creative and helped me write some of my first songs in elementary school, which is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, to have I think a lot of teachers, when they interact with kids that young, don't really think that they have a lot to say yet, you know? So they're like, oh, I'm just going to give you all the technique. And then later on, like, maybe if you're really gifted. So, yeah, she was real cool. Started playing percussion in 4th grade. And then I just never really stopped. I played in every ensemble that was available as a part of our school. And then, like, my last year of school, I also was a mentor at the middle school and at our freshman band. You know, it was just
You're
like,
one of those.
yeah, I was like, well, how can I turn this math class into a band class? How can I turn my study hall into a band class?
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
Band kids for life.
Yeah, but I kind of like Hayden because I came up in really formal education. I played in some like pickup bands, but I didn't gig with bands until, for me, it was a couple in college and then really after college, with Reviving Cecilia out of Denver was like one of the first bands I really played with, whose leader is now she does Ivory Circle, which is an amazing band. Yeah. So I played with her and learned a ton from her. Connie Hong, she is awesome. And then the Burrows.
Yeah.
Are you guys both from Colorado then? Did you grow up in Colorado or did you come here for school or?
So I'm from Colorado Springs.
Okay.
And then I moved up here for college.
And I'm from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, so
I'm going to say it, eh?
Yeah, you betcha. So yeah, I lived there for my whole childhood, and went to college in Wisconsin. And then my husband was looking at grad schools, and UNC was one of those schools, and I was not wanting to go to grad school at the time, so I was like, you pick what school you want to go to, and we'll go there. And so when we moved out here, I did my student teaching, taught in the classroom for 5 years, and then transitioned into the work that I have now.
Wow. Which is what exactly?
I work for a music education nonprofit called Little Kids Rock,
Awesome.
which is as cool as it sounds.
Sounds like School Rock.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Yeah.
It's like that, except, we're like a nonprofit and we get teachers free curricular resources and get them some instruments, and they get the kids rocking.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that?
I love it.
Yeah.
I get to help other people feel like a cool Jack Black.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
So then, okay, so you did all that, and then you went to UNC, obviously, studied music as well.
Yeah, music business.
Music business, okay. And then how did you all get latched up with the Burrows?
It all started with, do you know Craig? Craig Bassarich.
I think I don't know him, but I've probably met him a few times in
You've
passing.
heard him.
Yes.
You've heard him.
Yes.
But Craig Bassarich saw Johnny playing at Patrick's at an open mic,
Okay.
and he saw that Johnny was singing soul and doing his thing, and they decided that they were gonna start a soul band to play for Block Party. So like Craig hit up me, Jordan Scomal. Craig basically got all the horns. Johnny got all of the rhythm section. So we played our first gig. We played Sans Mary, and with a whole bunch more people.
I am not
You're not
an
OG?
original Burroughs member.
Yeah.
Really?
And neither is Jeremy. And it's like definitely a sore subject for us, because they'll be like, oh, well, like only these original Burroughs band members are left. And we're like, okay, we joined the second gig, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, it was literally that close.
Yeah, we both joined on the second gig. I'm joking. I'm not actually mad about it.
Did you know that was Craig's
am I?
idea to get you?
I do. I have the message still that he sent me,
I do too.
because he, like, I didn't really know anyone in the Burroughs. The message was like, hey, I think we've met through your husband, and I'm pretty sure you play the drums. I'm putting together this soul band. Are you into like funk and Motown? And I remember getting it and being like, yeah.
Sure.
Yes. And like like going into like hyper, like, oh, I gotta learn all these covers that you guys were working on and
Yeah.
stuff so that I could play this gig with the band. So it's so funny because now recently I was like, I don't know, I was gonna come downtown or something, and I was like, oh, I should like call some friends. And then I was like, okay, well, going down the list, and then I was like, my list is the band.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
like, yeah. So I didn't know anyone in the band before we started playing together, and now that we're just like family,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I mean, you guys. I mean, the Burrows. Obviously, we'll get a trash cat in a minute, but the Burrows is it's
No,
just
let's talk about
That's
the
fine.
Burrows.
It's
I
something- yeah.
love talking about the Burrows without Johnny.
Yeah.
me too. Just kidding. I met Johnny a couple times. I didn't mean anything by that. Sorry, Johnny. You're awesome.
Be careful, he's really easily offended.
Oh,
He's not.
He is not.
I wouldn't think so. But no, I mean, the Burrows is something truly amazing. I guess that Greeley can call our own. I think you guys are certainly one of the biggest bands to ever come out of Greeley. And to a lot of people listening, that might not sound like something amazing, but I think you guys have gone so much further than Greeley. It just so happens that you started here.
Yeah. And we're
And-
now in the Whale, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. I forgot about them.
yeah, I know.
They've been on the
We're
show.
pretty big time.
Yeah, I watched it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I'm sitting where Eric Riley
Yeah,
sat.
how about that?
Oh my God, Eric Riley. Can I just do a PSA real quick?
Yeah.
I'm not Eric Riley.
Does that happen?
More
All
times
the
than
I
time.
could see it.
than I can count.
I mean, I'm sitting here. I'm like, man, Eric,
Yeah.
what are you doing back? I thought you
Yeah.
were in a different band.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. It
So-
happens.
I don't mean to interject, but
Pop
is he
Chris.
the one that's on the back of Bears, or is that you? Like the
Painted?
yeah.
The one that Armando painted?
Yeah.
That's just a random dude. Armando
Looks a
painted
lot
one that's
like
in the
you,
hotel.
Yeah.
There's one in the hotel of
There-
like
and there's
a
also-
picture of my
On the
face.
back
There
of
is a
Bears.
picture of you in the
On the
alley
back
on
of
West.
Bears.
Oh yeah, with me like
That's
this.
you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me.
That's
yeah,
him.
that's me.
Knew it was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hyper Webster,
Still,
right?
man.
Hyper Webster. Parkour
I'm
move.
Hardcore
Get the
parkour.
fuck
Yeah.
out now. You're good.
Hayden's featured in a lot of local art.
I like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm brown.
Proud?
Yes. Yeah. of
For a
course.
while within the Burrows, we called ourselves Team Token because I was the only girl in the band before Bree joined.
So you guys really bonded early on with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not
I mean,
just
well,
that.
not that. Not just that. But
But I think right away we were just like, oh yeah, like I actually just took out again the Nintendo 3DS that you and Jordan bought me so that
Yeah.
we could all play Pokemon together. And it was like from very early on, it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have fun.
yeah, we used to. I think all the bonding happened with our friend Jordan Scommel. He's
Yeah.
a killer trumpet player, but we'd all go over to his house, play Mario Party or play Pokemon or like play video games,
Super
watch nerdy
Smash
stuff.
late into the evening.
Yeah, just like go for it. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that we were pretty good at video games, and like we would always talk about strategies and stuff, or like playing the game Munchkin, or
Yeah.
doing all these things, and we just kind of
Cool
nerdy
people
pe-
stuff.
Yeah, I
nerdy
see.
people like
Cool.
But
do
not
this.
everyone in the band was totally on board with all
yeah, like talking about
Yeah, I
doing
mean-
some of that stuff.
There's just so many like mini conversations like happening in the Burrows all the time, like because there's the people that are into sports, so like they're gonna talk about like whatever's in season currently, and then there's like a subgroup of recent homeowners who are talking about like whatever lame house projects
Oh
they're
my
working
gosh.
on. And yeah, so there's a lot, and there's enough crossover that it's not clicky, but we do like, depending, like when we're on tour like together for a long time, it's like sometimes like this group's gonna kind of hang out and they're gonna talk about like
Sports.
sports balls, or this other group's gonna hang out and talk about, I don't know, like travel plans or like philosophy or like,
Yeah.
see, it does get deep sometimes too. So yeah. It's or like jazz, like obscure jazz records,
Tom
or
and Brian
yeah,
and Bree.
yeah, for sure. So it's good, keeps it fresh.
For
Yeah.
sure. How many members are there in the Burrows currently?
8.
8 people. So that
Yeah.
is a lot of just mini things going on. And
Yeah.
finding your
Yeah.
Partner crime. I don't know how to say that, but
It's
Yeah.
really nice on tour because if you get bored of somebody, you got freaking 8 other people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
you got other people to interact with.
Are you guys nice about it? Or are you just like, I'm bored with you. I'm gonna go talk to Johnny or something?
Next.
I don't
Move
know.
along that. No.
Depends.
Just like, well,
How do you guys travel? In like a big old van or separate vehicles? Or
We've only done like a couple big tours, and what
Okay.
we've done is had a cargo van and then like was it a 12 passenger van
Yeah.
or a 15 passenger van?
I think it was 15 because
We had like
A lot of room.
we decided to spring for the extra 3 seats so that there were like a couple of sleeping spots, which
Ooh.
was
smart?
amazing. It was great.
It was
was
really
real
really
great.
nice. So yeah, and so then there's like that other, we can drive. You can be in a separate vehicle if you really get tired of someone. I guess it never came. It never felt like it
No.
came to that though.
No.
Yeah,
I'm sure not. It's just kinda
yeah. It's a but
funny to picture.
Yeah.
yeah. You do like when you're on the road with people for a long time realize why bands would like get separate tour
Break up
buses
and just,
after like 30 years. Just be like, I just like don't want to smell you for like a few hours. That would be great.
Who are you talking about?
Hayden.
Oh.
Yeah.
Heating up in here.
Oh.
Yep.
My feelings.
You
Where,
know what you did.
what's some like the coolest places you guys have been as the Burrows, and like what's some of your favorite shows you've ever played, in state or out of state?
That's a good question. Places we went to New Orleans,
That's cool.
and that was probably my favorite place we've gone to. Actually, we've been to some really gorgeous places in Colorado
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like we've been up to Buena Vista.
Oh my
a
God, the
couple
Lariat.
times. Yeah, and that's a really fun gig because they at the Lariat you play and then they have apartments for the band upstairs.
Right above.
Whoa.
And it's
Yeah.
like 3 apart. It's really nice. And so, I mean, I love going up there. We'll play. They treat us really well. And then, like, the next day, I'll just, like, go on a walk,
Or
like,
we'll go to
towards
the hot
river.
springs.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's really fun. As far as, like, favorite shows, I always love a Halloween show.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we've had so much fun doing those every year. It's kind of one of my favorite things. And we played this really awful club in a city that will remain nameless with only Alex's dad in the audience.
Oh. Oh yeah. That was
Colorado
rough.
City?
And
No.
Out of
no.
state. Okay.
Yeah.
So Colorado's safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
But it actually was like one of the most fun shows we've ever played.
It was like the best that we've ever
We
played.
sounded
What?
so good.
It was
and
fire.
everyone was like, there was no one there, so we were just like, it just went down some avenues that you don't go down when there's a couple hundred people watching you.
Interesting.
We were taking some artistic liberties.
Yeah. So that was fun. I also liked opening for Steve Miller Band.
Yeah, that was really cool.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Dude, they're big, man. They're big time.
Yeah. Bohemian Nights.
Oh.
3 years ago? 2 years ago.
That's not.
I think it was 3.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because that might have been Smash Mouth.
That was
No, that's
Taste of Fort
yeah.
Collins.
Yeah.
Oh, those were different. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My
Different
bad.
events.
No, it's
I
alright.
really wish we had
I wish
opened
I
for
was there.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah,
So
that
you
would
could
have
get some
been.
bread thrown at you?
Yeah.
Free bread, dog.
I love bread.
Live on bread, bro.
Yeah.
That was such a funny thing, man. I can't believe Fort Collins would do that. I wouldn't expect that.
I recently showed that video. Like, I think it was like this past weekend. I was trying to explain what was happening. And it's funny when you watch the YouTube video because you just see these like little tiny dots up on stage. And then he's just flipping
Flipping, dude.
out.
So
It's
angry.
so good.
The next person.
Yeah.
And they're still playing the song.
Yes.
Like he goes off and he's just they're all just playing like
Let it go,
oh my
man.
gosh darn
Boom,
it. Boom boom.
Yeah.
Still one of the greatest songs in the world.
It is.
Dude,
mean,
I feel no shame going back and listening to that.
Yeah.
Singing along and knowing
Also,
every word.
like, don't sleep on Walking on the Sun.
Might as well be walking on the yeah.
On the
Dun, 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 dun. I haven't heard it in a while, but that's what I think the sound sounds like. I don't know.
That's one of those memories I have that's like burned in my brain is when that music video dropped and I was in like 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah.
And it just sticks in my mind. I'm like, yeah, dude. Everyone was so excited about it. And I hadn't really known of MTV at that point. And these people were just like, yeah, we're getting the whole neighborhood over. We're going to watch this new video that's dropping. Smash Mouth.
It's Smash Mouth.
What? And it was so like new and crazy and different. And I was like 10 years old. I don't know how, like 9,
Get
8 years
together
old.
to watch that.
Dude.
That's awesome.
I don't know. It's just one of those. It's like, I will remember that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's a weird time. I remember like right around that time also getting invited to like a Survivor TV watching party.
Okay.
Where we ate like rice out of halved coconuts or you know.
Whoa, going
like,
all out.
Yeah.
Nope.
Do people get
No
together to
memories
watch
like that.
TV? I guess like Game of Thrones is coming out and people
Yeah.
are getting together to watch that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like no one gets together anymore.
Just
2019. But it's not true.
We could have like a watch party.
yeah.
It's weird how you can like have set up watch parties through Facebook now, where you can like invite friends to watch with you.
Well, you could do that.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it is
I
weird.
realized we should have done that when we released our music video.
Uh-oh.
I was like, what a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm not good at social
Dang it.
media.
Dang it.
The analytics love it, man. It
I
gets
know.
right to the top.
Really?
But it's very strange to me. It's like, yeah, let's all get together and watch this and
Do it in real life.
different, right? And
Right?
yeah, and maybe I guess if you're in like New York and like California,
Yeah.
you have a
Yeah.
friend.
It can be
I
kind of
guess it could be.
sweet or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll give him that, but
Some of my greatest times has just been with people.
Dang it.
I'm old. You kids these days.
these days,
Some
and
of my greatest times have been with people.
This is
Hayden Farr.
this is also the same dude that won't talk to people on the phone because I don't like talking to strangers.
oh, I quit answering my phone a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's for
dude,
the best.
I don't
Yeah.
answer it. Like I mean, I guess I did when you showed up, but I knew who you were.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I like being removed and in the same room at the same time.
Mhm.
Very strange. That's why we do this podcast. Bring people together,
Yeah. That's awesome.
Separately.
Separately.
Wink.
but together.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can move on. Trash cat. Although I did want to talk more about Game of Thrones, but maybe that'll come back up.
Are you ready for Clegane Bowl?
What?
Clegane Bowl?
Dude, if you ask me the names of any character, I don't know who they are.
The Hound and the Mountain.
Oh. What about them?
The two brothers.
Are they going to battle it out?
Are they
Wait
gonna
for them
fight?
to duke it out. It's been talked about since like season 4.
But didn't the mountain already die?
What?
Didn't the mountain already die?
He got.
No, he came back,
He
dude.
came back.
Oh.
They never showed him actually
Oh my
die.
gosh, you guys spoiler.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he did.
Spoiler alert,
Spoiler.
Facebook. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Some of us have
to-
watched 5 episodes of Game of Thrones and we're like, eh.
Is that? Are you talking about yourself, Mary?
Yeah. Yeah. But like now I'm kind of thinking maybe I should go back. and
Well,
watch
did
Yeah,
you
you
watch
probably should.
But I think I'll read the books first.
Oh yeah, you'll
No,
get through
your
those
hopes.
real
Your
quick.
hopes will get up.
Are they too different?
Yeah, they're different.
Oh, okay.
They're different.
All right.
I think it'd almost be better to watch the series first and then go read the books
Yeah.
and see how much better the books are than the series. But
Yeah.
after you fully enjoyed the series.
That's. I did it with.
See?
Do you know the show American Gods?
I do not.
It's a pretty good show. It's Neil Gaiman. He wrote a book about it, and it's about American gods and all these different things. And I saw a preview for the show, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna read the book and then watch the show. Terrible. Can't watch it.
The
See?
show is like
Yeah.
unwatchable.
Yeah.
It can ruin it for you.
Yeah.
By reading the book first. Because that's what
I re-
everyone always says,
I
obviously.
know. I just read
Yeah.
Ready Player One, which I was telling you about
Yeah.
yesterday, and now I'm kind of like, oh, should I see the movie? Because I heard it was like only okay.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Um,
Without reading the book first, people are just like, it's okay.
but the book
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
the book isn't deep literature, but it's fun. It's super fun. Just like all video game references and 80s,
yeah.
you know, bands and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
For sure. I don't know.
yeah.
Game of Thrones is fun.
Anyway.
Anyway, back to my original conversation that I want to have. Just kidding. The whole let's get to the real meat of the conversation. Why I really brought you guys here. Game of Thrones.
Let's do it.
No, we can be done with that. Mary and Hayden of Trash Cat. This is the real reason why that you guys are here. You guys just put out an album. Obviously, we just went over it. You've been members of the Burrows for centuries at this point, and Maybe not. You're not
It
that
feels like forever.
old. How long has it been? How long has it been?
6 years.
6 years
years
this
About.
summer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've been in Greeley it's going to be 7 years. And I swear, when I first got to Greeley, you were like the first people that I ever saw on stage.
Really? Not even like Electric Stairchild or the
No.
Shillelaghs?
No.
Or-
Oh, I
Oh,
kind of
Shillelaghs. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
And then probably you guys.
forgot about Electric Stairchild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play in a ska band called Mellophilia.
Whoa.
And also it was Duchovny was one of
Duchovny,
my
yeah.
first Greeley
Oh,
concerts.
Noel.
No, man.
Yeah,
I
Noel.
remember that.
Yeah.
Noel.
Who else?
That dude's on another plane. He's gonna be the one who like
yeah.
50 years from now, like we're like, oh yeah, we knew
We do
Noel.
know.
Noel's the man.
Yeah,
He's a wild man.
he is.
He's a wild man. He's in It's Just Bugs now, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Which is
Bugs
sick.
are amazing.
Yeah, that's a sick band.
Yeah.
They're super fun live.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're gonna be back here soon, yeah.
I think. Oh, probably. Maybe for me. I don't know. I need to look at some
Yeah, I don't know.
upcoming stuff.
It's so
they'll
funny
be
with
around.
them because they're so deeply not family friendly.
No, it's
Like unless you got a real weird family, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like they're the kind of band they're like so much fun they'd be everywhere, but that's okay because they don't want to be that like they are best suited to like dark places.
yeah, they're pushing the limits on maybe even reality.
In reality,
Yeah.
they're taking us to another plane of existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that band.
That's a good time.
Love
Yeah.
them.
So then, what made you guys want to start this new venture called Trash Cat? Because obviously you were members of the Burrows.
I'll
What,
take it.
Yeah,
Take
All
it.
right.
Take
Mary.
that. Take that one.
Well, so many members of the Burrows lived together for a fairly extended period of time. So I think at our high point, 6 of us lived together, which is a lot of people. But Hayden and Brian and I have lived together longer than any other combination up to this point.
yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
It's probably like now you and Alec will have that same thing going
Yeah.
for. But regardless, so we were spending like a lot of time hanging out, watching TV. Like there's different, just like whatever shenanigans, playing music on the porch, and we started watching Adventure Time. And then when Steven Universe was a thing, Hayden was like, you need to watch this show. So we started watching it together. And one day he was like, I was thinking, so we had some like ukuleles around and I had been kind of teaching myself, for my job, for my classroom, because I had students who were playing ukuleles and he was learning some ukulele. And he was like, I was thinking it'd be really fun to write a song about Connie from Steven Universe. And like, I was like, okay, let's do that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we did. And then we, Hayden would come when I was playing like Patrick's and stuff like that. And we would play a few tunes together. And then if we were working on something, we would throw it into the mix. And then we just like had written a few things and they were all about cartoons. So we wrote a couple about Steven Universe, a couple about Adventure Time. And then I kind of had some stuff that I had already written. I had a song I had long ago written about Harry Potter. And
It's my favorite one.
yeah?
Yeah. That's my favorite.
It's on the album.
Yeah, it's the last tune. Next
Okay.
Great Adventure is about Dumbledore.
Oh,
Yep.
It's like when he says like
sad.
to the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure. So that song is about him thinking about death and
Yeah.
like what is going to come next and like kind of reflecting on his life and looking towards what might be happening. And so yeah, that's like an aside, but it just was like this stupid idea that we should write all of our songs about cartoons.
Yeah.
And so we just kept doing it. And I found it so freeing, which seems so ridiculous, but I think for a long time I had felt like songwriting was something that had to be a really deep expression of yourself, and it had to be really personal if you were like the appropriate amount of vulnerable and like all of those things that you think like, oh, it's got to be like deep and really meaningful, and to remove that a layer and say, oh, I really love the story that already exists, but this is what it meant to me.
Yeah.
And to me, that I have found it incredibly inspiring. I continue to find it really inspiring. So that's kind of like where how it got going, and then we just haven't stopped.
Yeah.
So just writing songs based off of cartoons that you like.
Or
Yeah.
episodes too.
Okay.
Like I don't know. We have one in the that we're gonna start writing a little bit. That's about an episode of Steven Universe where Garnet meets some others like her, and they don't understand that everything's okay. Would you say that, like, just own it, like...
Yeah, it's like basically her telling this group of people who have been ostracized that they are perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
You know,
the way
like-
they are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like we'll do themes, and then we also do stuff, like we have a song in the album about Geordie LaForge from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
And then there are like there's one song on there that's not about any of that. It's just like it's just a song we wanted to sing, and I think that's, I mean, I know that it's fine too. There's no one telling it. There's no rule book.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the core of the band being centered around kind of like geek pop culture stuff has been really fun.
Yeah.
And it's helped us to connect with like a particular audience.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of people that already enjoy that, and then if you can reach them through music, that's a very interesting concept. I don't think I've necessarily come across that in all my music listening, so that's unique, guys. I think that's really
Thanks.
it's awesome.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it sounds
there's
fun.
there have been a lot of groups that have been super on the nose. Like I don't know if I've ever told you this. I went and saw this band called Harry and the Potters.
Oh.
There was like a bunch
boy.
of Harry Potter specific, but like all the songs would be like, Malfoy, you really suck. It's like all songs that are really on the nose. Like it's not subtle. And so I think that one of the things that's interesting that I wanted to do from the beginning was like, I want someone who hasn't ever watched Steven Universe to listen to this song and like get it.
Maybe connect and get it, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
because
For
it's
sure.
like more of like telling a story than it is like, oh man, do you also watch cartoons?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. I don't want it to be so inside all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah.
I feel like this is gonna sound weird, but I just connected like watching the show versus reading the book. It's kind of like that. Watching the show, it makes you want to read the book.
Yeah.
Listening, like we're writing these songs so that if you like a song, then look into it and
You might enjoy the cartoon.
you might enjoy the
and maybe
cartoon.
get a deeper understanding of the song even.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
might go back and forth that
Yeah.
way.
For sure.
That's
Yeah.
super cool. So, how would you describe your sound? I've read some articles written about you guys. It's been described as sophisticated indie pop or cartoon rock, which we kind of covered a little bit. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Cartoon rock.
That's what we self-label.
That's okay.
So, and that was like one of those things, it's not cool to talk about, but when you are creating a band, like often people suggest, like, if you don't necessarily fit straight into a vein, like if you don't listen to someone's music and you're like, oh, this is black metal, this is reggae, this is whatever, like if it kind of blurs those lines a little bit, it's often suggested that you create your own genre.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's, and we kind of thought that was fun.
Yeah.
But it kind of does go like, I think it could be like indie rock and like pop, it's like, it's in those veins.
It's in
also,
there.
for sure. Yeah.
But it is different. It's like you said, it's not so trying to be deep and emotional. It's just, and maybe there's some of that in there too, but it is a lot more just fun on the surface.
yeah.
And I mean, that comes down to Hayden playing the the bari sax on there,
Yeah.
and then obviously the electric ukulele.
Yeah.
So those two
Definitely a
sounds-
unique sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
just-
say I've seen that heard it very often. That those two instruments played together.
Yeah. Interestingly, I think one of the only other bands I have heard that has even like a saxophone and a ukulele is Cactus Cat, another cat-themed band from Fort Collins.
Yeah.
And I need to get back to them because they want to play a show together. And I was just like, oh, yeah, they just triggered. I was like, that's a message sitting in my inbox that I haven't answered. But
Yeah.
if you guys are listening, which you maybe are,
Leave a comment and we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Gig.
Because they're really cool.
Yeah.
Cactus Cat and Trash Cat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask this now because you guys are new enough that you've probably heard it enough. How'd you come up with the name?
Our dear friend Jordan Scommel. Well, no, it starts. We were walking back from Patrick's a while ago, and there's this feral cat
Okay.
that followed us all the way home, to the point where like I walked over and no, it was Jordan. Jordan walked over and put the cat on his shoulders, and the cat just stayed
like a
there.
mink or something. You
Whoa.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it was just like,
And it was just like
It
cool.
was cool with it.
Yeah.
because it was really hungry.
It was really hungry.
Yeah.
Like it was like trying to use us.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it came to the house, and then it was
Don't feed it, Mary.
don't feed it, Mary. Don't feed the cat. And I fed the cat because I could see its ribs, and it was a beautiful cat, and I wanted it to be happy. And then Hayden made a bed for it in a little cardboard box with a bed sheet
Yeah.
and put it on the porch. And then we like had a cat.
And the nickname for that cat was Trash Cat.
Trash Cat.
Yeah.
We didn't
It
give it a
came-
name.
Came home from the trash.
Yeah.
And we did actually. We ended up finding some friends of ours to adopt the cat.
Oh, you
it's
don't
like,
have it anymore.
No,
Oh, okay.
because one of our bandmates is super allergic to cats. Also, like, we didn't need to own a pet. We
Yeah.
needed to
Yeah.
find someone who like really wanted to own a
Yeah.
pet at the time.
His name is Oscar now, right?
No, it's oh my gosh, McCoy.
McCoy
Oh.
Tyner.
Different jazz pianist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be a song called McCoy.
McCoy.
Yeah.
We
That's a
might
good
have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Just describe what happened that night.
Yeah. The epic tale.
That's a story.
Is that the same night that
good.
Jordan laid down in the street and sang "Who Wants to Live Forever"
Yeah.
from the Highlander?
Mm-hmm. That was a night.
We should write a song about the Highlander.
Oh my God, yes. I love the Highlander.
There can be only one. There can be only one.
Chopping off heads.
All right.
Here,
Cool, we got
Take
it.
my pad here and just start writing, guys. Let's watch the process in action. Let's get it.
You think you just saw it. It's
That was-
tease written. Yeah.
Sometimes the process is us just sitting in a room and like taking turns writing lyrics and just laughing at each other.
Yeah.
Like
Especially for like the ones that we want to be like silly. I think the one that's the most on the nose on the whole album is Lumps, about Lumpy Space Princess from Adventure Time.
Okay.
And that one we wrote like so fast because we were just like laughing our heads off. And just like, what would she say if she were like singing a song to you? Like, I know you want my body.
Yeah.
You know, like all this,
I know I said I want you, but not like that.
but not like that. Yeah.
That track did make me laugh. I have to
Yeah.
say.
It's so funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
What have been some of the? Well, maybe it doesn't sound like there's been any challenges in writing because it's just so free and fun. But have there been any challenges coming out with this album?
Well, yes. We got a grant to do this album through the Weld County Community Foundation.
Cool.
And we knew we had enough time for 3 days in the studio, including like most of our mixing. So that like we actually went into the studio like hyper organized.
We knew exactly what song we were gonna start with.
Right. And like to the
Like-
point where like we have 11 songs. These are the 5 we really want to have. These are the 4 more that I would like to get to, and then these are the 2 that we'll put on if there's time.
Yeah.
And like, you know, so like that was really interesting because it was kind of a pressure situation. Also, I was really sick the whole time we were in the studio, like kind of miserably sick. So, but as far as like the process of writing, there are times when
We'll
we
hit
get
like a brick
stuck.
wall, yeah. But I feel like all you do is just like take a step back from it.
Watch
and
the
then-
episode again.
Yeah, watch the episode that you're trying to reference.
Go back to your inspiration.
Yeah.
There you go. And
Yeah.
it's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't have to go searching.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Or like I'll just look up like when we were writing about one of the songs is about the Ice King from Adventure Time again, and I just remember like I was like, okay, I need to like clear my head, so I looked up like all of his quotes just to get like a feel for his voice and like, okay, like how would he say this,
Yeah.
you know, like stuff like that, which is like such a ludicrous scenario to
No, that's awesome.
put on oneself. You know, just be like, oh, I really need to like get inside of the Ice King.
How would
you
this
know?
how would this character
Yeah.
portray this thought?
Yeah.
That's
totally.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. So, 3 days in the studio. Where did you guys record it at?
Mighty Fine Productions.
Yeah. Down in
Studios.
Denver.
It's in Denver. Okay.
Yeah. It's with Colin Bricker,
Okay.
who is a Greeley boy
Yeah.
Nice.
and the best.
I mean, the album came out sounding really good. I think.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, Colin has done like the majority of the recording of the Burrows, like including our live
Okay.
album. But I would say we especially had fun with him on this project because he likes weird, and this was weird. And so
Yeah.
like I remember we were working on Full Time Lover, which is a song to David Bowie. It's a love song I wrote to David Bowie. And I was like, okay, hear me out. I want Morse code in the back of the bridge that's sending a message to space to David
That's
Bowie.
awesome.
And so it says something like, David, we miss you, come back. And it's like, he was like, oh yeah, we can figure out how to do this. Or like, just like
Yeah,
got
I
on
hopped
the
on
internet.
Google and
What?
found it.
How would you say this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
Morse
it like
code.
there was a machine that would play it, but then he like figured out how to put it in like a pitch that wasn't gonna clash
Yeah.
with the tune, and
And
like
then he just buried it.
yeah, so it's like barely in there. Like you would probably only hear it now if you go
If you're in the
check
know.
it out.
Yeah.
If you're cool enough to listen to this podcast.
Yeah. That's super cool and
Yeah.
creative. And- yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the album sounds great. I think I mean, obviously you guys have experience in putting out albums and just performing and all that stuff. So that's, I guess, not a surprise.
We definitely
This-
know a lot more than we did 5 years ago. I will
Yeah.
say that for myself because,
Yeah.
man, when we started doing this stuff with the Burrows, we were clueless.
Zero.
Like, especially like me. Like, Johnny knew some stuff because he had been on tour,
Yeah.
you know, and like done stuff with other bands. But I was just like, I'm going to try to play in time and do a pretty bad job
Yeah.
of it, and then I don't know, we'll figure everything else out. So it was nice to be like, oh yeah, I have a basic understanding of how to make a press release and, you know, some contacts to send that press release to.
Yeah.
All 5 of them.
All 5 of them. Ain't
Facebook.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, where's the best place for people to find your music? Where can they go listen to this album?
Well, artists really like it. I mean, ideally, if you buy their stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you can do that on iTunes.
Okay.
But it also, yeah, it's on Spotify. It's
Okay.
on Pandora. It's on all of the things. Yeah.
It's available.
Yeah, and because there is a a punk band in Ohio called
Oh, boy.
Trash Cat. You kind of have to search for the album title,
Yeah.
which is Welcome to Trash City.
I didn't have a problem finding it.
Okay,
I'll be
good.
honest.
Good. Maybe it's
Facebook,
easier now.
Searching on Facebook, it came up with Trash Cat and then Trash Cats, but it's easy enough to figure out.
Yeah.
And then Spotify was straight up just you guys.
Really?
So yeah, yeah.
Whenever
I
I
have no
look it
issue with
up, it's just like
I guess I
punk-
haven't really checked in it at the beginning. Maybe have more recent listens or something
Yeah.
like that.
that could be it.
Yeah.
I
Getting
don't
on
know.
top of that algorithm, man.
God,
It's all about that algorithm.
I am so fascinated and disgusted by algorithms.
It can drive you crazy.
Yeah.
It can absolutely drive you crazy. I mean, obviously, I try to put out this podcast and get picked up by algorithms, and sometimes it goes, and when it goes, it's like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like that's
Mm-hmm.
the part or the edit that I didn't think would go out there, and then it did, and then you think you put out something really good, and then nope, no one cares apparently,
Oh my
or
God.
Facebook thinks it doesn't.
We've been
Yeah.
having this conversation
So
so much with like Bree, especially because
Yeah.
do you remember you and I were like the most into watching the social media stats when we first started with the Burros?
Yeah, yeah.
So we'd be like watching like, oh, I wonder what demographics were really hitting and like
Yeah.
all this stuff and then I'd be looking up like, well, how does that compare to the overall demographics of Facebook? You know, like a cool person.
Yeah.
And just like looking up all this stuff, and it's easy to obsess about it because you
Yeah.
can be like, oh, I put this thing out. Is it because I did it at 8 a.m. instead of 9 p.m.? Is it because it's like, and you just don't know, and they're changing
know.
all of their stuff all the time.
It's a mess.
Yeah, I like have a daily battle where I want to delete
Rage quit.
Facebook.
Oh God.
And then I'm just like, oh yeah, I can't because I'm in a creative industry.
Yeah, that'd be game over.
I own a small business that depends on me, so woo.
I mean, it really is useful in getting out content to your followers, and a lot of
Yeah.
times those followers have to come from real life, and then they'll get on board with you on social media so that they can stay in contact.
Totally.
Yeah, yeah.
Is what it
Lots
seems
of
like.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just
We don't hate you, Facebook. Don't put us on your naughty list.
we love you.
Good Facebook. Nice Facebook.
Getting that ASMR going.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I understand that joke now.
Yeah, see? Dude, every episode, that's what I was saying before we started this, is every episode I've had of this podcast is degraded into
You know, it just
ASMR.
comes down to this. Just
and then,
a nice little whisper.
It's nuts, dude.
How's everybody doing?
well, if anybody owns ASMR, it's NPR.
It's true.
They started that shit.
All of their like mouth noises.
Yeah. Welcome back to the rooftop sessions. I'm with Hayden Farr and Mary Claxton of Trash Cat.
What's the opposite of ASMR? Like, what would that be?
Just noise.
Just
like
hey, how's it going? You know,
Yeah, where it doesn't, it just
Radiation.
hurts you.
Yeah.
Like ASMR almost like makes you tingle in the back of the neck a little bit, and then
makes you do this.
that's just like, oh God. And then you're wearing headphones, so it just gets louder.
okay.
Yeah. Let's be the anti-ASMR. Well, okay, we can keep this moving on. I don't have too much more for you guys. I do appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
of
far. I
course.
mean,
This
it's
is
always
fun.
a blast. It's a blast, dude.
Yeah.
House is dope.
Yeah. Thank you. So I guess what is the next step for Trash Cat?
We have a few goals on our dream board.
Put
We're
it up
working
there.
on our dream board right now.
Yeah. We want to collaborate with an artist and make a graphic novel.
Really?
But like would probably start with like a single, like a thick issue, you know,
Yeah.
like just like a something small. So if anyone's interested in doing that with us, we are like just trying to figure out next steps for doing that.
We would
What
love
would
to do.
I mean? Would it be focused around Trash Cat the story, or
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
whole new concept?
We have
Tell the world.
we have like a concept behind Trash City.
Okay.
And like what the premise is, it's like a post-apocalyptic cat city.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
No, that sounds legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're like might be some time travel involved in it as
Some
well.
mystery.
Some mystery, intrigue.
Some learning about things.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the goals. Another goal would be to play some Comic-Cons.
There you go.
So
Dude.
yeah, which is like a possibility.
There's a Greeley
Yeah.
Comic-Con, right?
Is
Or
there?
there has been.
I think Denver. I don't know.
Well, there's
I
definitely.
know
Denver,
Denver.
Denver
for
for sure.
Collins, and
Yeah.
I mean like the
swear there
Nerd Store
was.
has like cool events all the time.
Well, they've got free comic book day coming up.
Yeah.
You could probably get a gig out in front.
We should
Yeah,
actually talk
we
to
should
Travis
talk.
about
That'd be
that.
fun.
We should talk.
There you go.
Yeah, we've been wanting to do that for a while. I have a few like I will always be a teacher, and so there's a couple things that I want to do on that side of things. Like I've been actually talking to Travis at the Nerd Store about wanting to do like a day featuring women in comics. So like
Yeah.
it's like getting like a whole bunch of really good stories, like getting some cool people cosplaying to like read some stuff, like get some music going.
Yeah.
And I told him that, and then he offered me a job.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, in another life I would totally be working here right now.
Taken.
Yeah, but so like that, I would love to do that. I would also love to create curriculum for pop culture songwriting
Yeah.
and see if we could do that at some schools. So like
Yeah.
basically taking our concept and making it into something that
Making
teachers
it-
could replicate. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
you know, like if you want your kids to write songs, they're like always super nervous about it. That's really like a part of, why I wrote this song about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to them, I was like, oh yeah, like you don't have to write it about yourself. You could write it about someone else. And then you don't have to worry about someone being like, your feelings are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so which happens in middle school if you remember.
Yeah.
People are ruthless.
They're mean.
So yeah, I mean there's stuff like that, but I think just continuing, we're a really new band. Really, when it comes down
For
to
sure.
it, is like
Yeah.
we would just want to play more gigs
Yeah.
and like continue to find our audience.
Yeah. Build the audience.
Yeah.
Do you have any gigs coming up?
We're playing Bricks
Boom.
Yeah, we are.
in May.
What day is it? Is it April?
I'm terrible.
It's May
I'm
10th.
May
It's
10th.
May 10th.
May the 10th be with you, everybody.
6 days late.
So, I mean, you know what they say. March the 4th be with you.
I really
March
have been
4th.
I legitimately have been deeply wanting to write a song about like Ray, but I'm too afraid to do it before the last one comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, that might hurt a little.
I got to write a song about Han. I also want to write a song about a dream I had in which it was my job. I was trying to help Harrison Ford, like the person.
Not the actor.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
trying to help him escape the pressures of celebrity. And Nick Cage had like an underground railroad of sorts for celebrities trying to get
I'm in.
to a quieter life.
I'm in.
And in this dream, this like came up in my Facebook memories because I wrote it out. I was like, I need to remember every detail of this. Is like a year ago.
Yeah.
And like in my dream, Nicolas Cage had given me.
I think she's told me before. I'd like.
Y'all are married, right?
What?
No.
No, we're
No,
not.
Okay, I misread that.
She's like my sister.
it's true.
Gross.
Ugh. Yeah, so I find you disgusting. So yeah, anyways,
We
in
talked
this
about the
dream,
smell earlier.
I had a burner phone that Nick Cage had given me, and he was like guiding me through like a kind of like quasi dream Central Park. And I was fine. I like saw Harrison Ford
Okay.
from the like behind this fountain, and I was like, "Hey Ford, hold on, hey Ford, let's kick it." And then we just ran, and I woke up, and I just remember being like, "Why did I wake up? This is the best dream I've ever had."
Oh
Yeah.
god. Oh god.
Yes.
I think it would make a great song.
That'd just be a great movie.
Yeah.
And
in
the thing
general.
is, like, Harrison Ford would hate it.
Yeah.
which I think would make it so much better because he'd just be like,
Why do you think
get a life.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. He's like, I'm really digging like retirement age Harrison Ford, where he's just like I remember like Jimmy Fallon was like, when you got back into the Falcon, were you like
Just, I don't
emotional?
care.
Like, how did you feel? And he was
Don't
like,
care.
you know, it's not real, right? Like, he was such a dick about it. But he was just like, guys, this is a movie. And
He's
you're
like,
just like,
These people with
"Oh."
their imaginations, like,
Then I was like, oh, he's so right. I'm going to watch 10 more interviews of him about Star Wars. Because he's a normal human being.
by the way,
It's casual.
sorry, this just popped in my head. Why? When's Dr. Seuss Day? Because we need to do that again.
I think it already happened.
Dang.
We did like
Redfish.
3 years in a row where we went and played.
I'm trying to figure it out.
We played. We sang Dr. Seuss books for
Yeah.
kids at a school, just like at Scott Elementary.
Have you seen the rap version where they like rap a Dr. Seuss book?
I have seen
That's
that.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Okay, I'm not saying that we invented this because we didn't
Okay.
invent rap or like rapping books, but
We
we
killed
did
some.
that like
green
the
eggs
year
and
before
ham.
that video went
Ooh.
viral.
Yeah.
We did that in green eggs and ham. It was pretty
It's fire.
sweet. We're not as cool rappers,
Yeah.
but
Those probably were.
To those kids, you
mean-
were everything.
yeah,
They loved it.
Kids don't know.
Yeah.
You guys killed it.
it's so. I mean,
They're like, yo, that's fire.
Unless
When
they're
are you dropping your mixtape?
it is funny. Okay, this is like a total aside, but kids and adults both. They only have two. This is something I've been thinking about recently. They have exactly two ideas about what it is to be a musician. One is that you're poor and have no money and are throwing your life away. And the second is that you're famous. Like, people like do not have space in their mind for a middle ground between those two things.
Yeah.
So like Brian and I were just on vacation and met these people like and we started talking about the band. We're like, oh yeah, like we go on tour with the Burrows. Like hey, we're going to Alaska this summer. It's like it's a really fun project. And they were like, wait, should we like
famous?
know who you are? And we were like, I just think that that's really
Are you famous?
Wait.
You're so famous.
yeah. So I do think that's funny. And kids are the best about it though. Because they just assume you're famous.
Have to be.
Right. They're like, if you are a talented singer, surely someone has found out about it
You haven't
already
been on
and
The
given
Voice yet?
you $1 million.
Yeah.
I get that a lot too. Like, why wouldn't
Go
you
on The
just go
Voice.
on The Voice?
America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Why don't you guys do that?
Because I can't sing.
Well, America's
You
Got
know
Talent.
The truth is that those shows, they like own your life for several years.
Right.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
I remember we had a friend who, they tried to recruit him, which is another thing you don't see. Like for I think it was The Voice.
Mm.
They came and they wanted to recruit him to be like a person who showed up to an
Oh, it just happened
audition
to
on
be
the
there.
yeah
Oh,
right
okay.
exactly.
Okay.
But
That's
it was
pretty
like
brutal.
yeah, and it was like if you come, we guarantee that you'll make it to I don't know Hollywood or like whatever the next stages. But for the next 3 years, I want to say it was like 3 years, you can only perform under like your name as seen on The Voice. And for like 1 year, you could like he couldn't perform at all except under the terms of the contract that they had laid out for him.
What?
Isn't that wild?
That's evil.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you I think that it's like a trade-off because if you're a person who truly is like I'm just playing bar gigs and like this is kind of like a pipe dream kind of deal, then it's like, well, yeah, what do you have to lose? But if you're a person who's making like a modest living as a musician and then all of a sudden you can't gig for a year, you're screwed.
Yeah.
That's
you
crazy.
know, so it's
Unless you're working on that fire Dr. Seuss album.
just letting it stew, baby.
Yeah, yeah. Waiting to
letting it
drop it
mingle on.
January 1st.
Oh yeah, hop on pop.
Yeah.
Is that the next album? It's coming. I can feel it.
Hop on. If we're gonna what
Not the best one.
You
To
heard it here first.
one fish, two fish, red fish.
Bluefish. Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. All right. What else you guys? What else you guys do?
I'm a lurker on the internet.
That is true. Hayden is like a professional internet lurker.
Yeah, don't go look at my Facebook.
If
'cause I
you
don't put
if you find
nothing.
if
too.
you find something on the internet, if I ever find something on the internet that Hayden hasn't seen, I like treat
You win.
myself to an ice cream or
Yeah.
something.
You've seen it all, but you don't share it with the rest of the world.
No.
No,
I keep it to
that's
myself.
For you.
I have my own
Hayden's
private.
all like on Reddit, like long time reader, first time poster.
Yeah,
Please be nice, guys.
yeah. I think
And they're never nice.
OMG, thanks for the gold.
I think the reason why I'm a lurker is because when I first got Reddit, I was an angsty teen, and I would post things that were like dumb, just dumb, like just stupid, like,
For a reaction.
and I got destroyed.
Really?
Yeah. Like I'd be like, "What happens when you get bored with your friends?" Because I was in high school, and somebody was like, "You don't deserve any friends. What's wrong with you?"
Wow.
Like, and I was like,
Oh,
"Cool."
Hayden.
Yeah.
No.
That's what
Cool.
happens on the internet.
I just wanted to find if anybody else feels this thing. So,
Nope.
nope.
Found out real quick.
Loser.
Oh man, that's really good.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad that you shared that with
Good
us
now, though.
and all the
Yeah,
listeners
I'm
of this
good now.
podcast.
Yeah.
Tell them what you're
There's-
doing. I'll go back to that
There's
post and be like, look what I'm doing now.
Hey guys, I
bitches."
have a whole bunch of best friends.
And we in a band.
There's
Does the
something
internet
to be
love me?
said for like
band.
if you experience rejection on that level for a while at some point in your life, you're definitely a more cool person on the other side of that.
Probably.
Right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Like
Why?
if you never come out the other side of rejection, like don't you think you'd be like kind of like a boring person?
Yeah, I think so.
Because like I didn't have that exact situation happen to me, maybe, but I had a lot of like, you know, I was not cool, and
Yeah.
so people would like make fun of me all the time. But you know, it's a good thing. You come out the other
Yeah,
side. of it.
I mean, what
Makes
makes
you
you
grow.
stronger?
Yeah, it makes you grow.
I
and
think ideally it makes you more empathetic as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
It kind of, I don't want to say it shapes your personality or shapes who you are, but it can definitely drive who you want to be or who you think
Yeah.
you should
Yeah.
Right. Or
Yeah.
in like just like knowing yourself or outside of other people's opinions of you.
be. Ooh, strong.
Yeah, owning it.
That's actually one of the themes I want to explore in the Trash Cat graphic novel / future cartoon.
Yeah,
Is like it's just and I mean it's a theme of like Steven Universe
Yeah.
too for sure, which is one of the reasons we love it so much. And Rebecca Sugar, the creator,
being unequivocally yourself.
right?
And
Yeah,
loving yourself for it.
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna start crying.
And on that note, are you guys good?
We're so good.
Good.
Thanks for coming. This has been fun.
Yeah, this has been super fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I look forward to see what you guys push out in the future and catching you at your next show.
Oh, yeah.
For sure at Briggs Tap House.
Thanks.
There's nothing better than a beer and Trash Cat.
Yeah.
May 10th.
May 10th.
May the 10th.
Yeah.
Be with you. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
And Tommy said we can play really loud.
Oh, sweet.
So
We also frequent Patrick's. I think
Okay.
Mary's playing tomorrow.
if
Solo?
the weather holds up,
Oh yeah, another
I'm
bomb
hoping-
cyclone
I'm hoping for
2.0.
I am hoping for it.
Why?
so I can watch a whole bunch of Game of Thrones. And then,
Okay, caught up.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're on season 7.
I just needs to clear up so I can go see Michael McDonald on Thursday night.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Papa Chris, you down to go to that? Michael McDonald.
No.
It's at the UCCC,
Yeah.
baby, right down the street.
Right across the park.
It's just right
Fingers crossed for some Steely Dan. Am I right?
Cha.
there. Are you reeling in the year?
We're really derailing at the tail end of
The
this
tail end.
podcast. Thank you so much for
Yes.
having
Thank you,
us.
man.
Thank you for having us. Can we do it again? Because I'm
Absolutely.
loving this. This is so
Absolutely.
much fun.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk. We can talk about the Avengers Endgame or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
We'll talk Game of Thrones.
That's not Game of Thrones.
Which is a conversation that we left just hanging out there.
Of course not.
We never finished that conversation.
Dumbledore dies.
He doesn't know all that.
I actually. Well, yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I
God.
knew it, but I didn't know it.
Get your head straight, son.
Sorry.
Get your head straight.
It's getting late. Wrap it up,
All right,
guys.
bye forever.
Come on.
Bye, friends. Trash Cat. Find them facebook.com/TrashCatTunes.
Tunes.
There you go, guys.
Or Trash Cat Band. I don't know.
I changed it
Oh yeah.
today.
Trash Cat Tunes.
Trash Cat Tunes. Instagram too.
Instagram? There you
Yep.
Instagrams and Twitter.
And the I don't know what that is.
And wherever music is
go. Consume.
consumed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can buy it too. You should definitely go buy it.
Yeah. Just hit one of us up. We'll bring you a CD.
Oh, yeah. You guys have hard copies?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
And cassette tapes.
And cassette?
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Cassettes are coming back.
Yeah.
There's a guy delivered.
Thanks,
some
everybody.
boxes.
How is
He
it
was like-
possible that my ears are sweaty?